Hey, what's going on with you guys? Fight Night Champion gameplay in the background online. Just played this match today on this beautiful Sunday. Had some fights last night. About the Fight Night gameplay in the background. Extremely laggy match. Terrible. Atrocious. I'm playing with Vladimir Klitschko, taking on a Lennox Lewis. Tall guy matchup. I just play with Klitschko because, I mainly throw jabs and straights, and, that's like his, biggest punch in the game or whatever. But for whatever reason, you'd probably be like, yo, why would you switch to southpaw with Klitschko? Well, to be honest with you, whenever you switch to southpaw, Klitschko's forward and backwards movement is a lot faster for some reason than it is from the orthodox stance. So I just always switch to southpaw, which is why when I play lightweight fights, I pick Robert Guerrero because he's a natural southpaw. So, I don't have to switch his stances. Same thing for Pernell Whitaker. I just prefer, I'm left-handed in real life, but when it comes to playing Fight Night Champion, I prefer southpaw, like over or orthodox stance. Like, like a UFC game, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's no, it doesn't matter at all when it comes to playing UFC. But when it comes to just boxing, yeah, man, I prefer using southpaw. But enough about the game. Let's talk about last night. Dimitri Bivol, he TKO Sullivan Burrell in the 12th round on HBO, which was playing at the same time that Showtime was having their night of fights. I think as far as in the American public, I think Showtime had the bigger name, even though Kovalev is a huge name in boxing, period. Probably not so much, after the second Andre Ward fight, they kind of threw him to the side, and people kind of just like, all right, on to the next, but it is what it is. Kovalev, he went out there and dominated, got the finish in round 7. Then, you get the Showtime and Andre Dirrell. Oh, man. It might be time to hang him up, man. Like, I don't want to butcher old boy's name. I'm just going to call him Uzi. You know what I'm saying? So, Uzi, if y'all watched the first fight, man, Uzi was giving Dirrell that work. It was a close fight, but Dirrell got KO'd after the bell. I think I talked about it in a video sometime last year when it happened. But anyways, man, he got knocked out after the bell. Ironically, the two guys that had this situation happen with the DQ, the exact same thing happened in the UFC with Hector Lombard against CB Dollaway. Dollar Bills kicked Showweather in the body, and Showweather retaliated with a 2-piece that laid Dollar Bills flat. Dollar Bills, he's like, oh, weary and stuff, didn't know where he was. I don't know, man. It looked like it could have been a little bit of acting, but, he was probably legit hurt. Because, Lombard, big head baby, when a big head baby hits you, man, especially when he was in Bellator, and big head baby hit people don't really move. But, it happens, and he lost by disqualification. That's tough. I wish it was a no contest, but it is what it is. But back to boxing. Yeah, man, Uzi just dismantled Andre Dirrell last night. Dirrell might have won one round up to was the start of round 9. So when he went back to his corner at the end of round 8, his body language to me was that of a person that didn't want to continue fighting, because he didn't sit down in the corner. He looked completely discouraged. His corner man was like, yo, you want me to stop the fight? I'm gonna give you one more round, I'm gonna stop the fight. And he didn't respond to him or nothing. He just looked at him like, you know, just gave him a death stare or whatever. Like, so, you know, the seconds out, you know, they to get ready to start round 9, and they still in the corner. Then the doctor was just like, nah, he good, man. So they stopped the fight. Then, you know, Dirrell was kind of pissed off that they stopped the fight, but his body language to me said that he didn't want to continue fighting against Uzi. But, you know, Uzi with the dub. He should have got the dub the first time around, or at least a no contest. I just don't feel like he should have a loss on his record because of, you know, knocking a man out after the bell. Even though I know it's part of the rules, and people probably like, oh man, you tripping. That's part of the rules, but he was dominating the fight anyways. So that's just how I look at it. Same thing, you know, with John Jones and the elbows to the back of Matt Hamill's head. You know, he should not have that loss on his record. Should be a no contest. But it's all in the past. It is what it is. Main event, Luis Ortiz. I can't believe that, you know, this man, 38 years old, was, you know, he was undefeated at the time, and no title shots. Like, that's crazy. But him versus Deontay Wilder, you know, if it would have happened the first go around, you know, I think it would have been probably a slightly better fight, because, you know, I felt like they both were ready at the time. But instead, you know, he went in there and he had to do what he had to do. Had to kill Bermain and that thing. You know what I'm saying? To lay waste to Bermain. You know, rest in peace to that guy. But the fight with Luis Ortiz last night, man. So Wilder, you know, he came in extremely small. You know, I was like, okay, he came in small, so he already should have the stamina advantage and the, you know, the speed with the footwork. But as far as, you know, boxing goes, man, you already know Luis Ortiz is a much better boxer. Punching power wise, Wilder just has a really explosive right hand. Like, he you know, he uses his jab a lot, you know, to keep people at bay. So when you're that tall, you know, that's the best way to box. But when he lands that right hand, especially if it's a straight, if he get a straight right hand off, and, you know, he hurts people easily. So, you know, it was times, I can't remember what round it was. I think it was like round 4 or whatever. He hit Ortiz with something, and Ortiz was just like, whoa, I don't know where I'm at. But I'm somewhere. He turned into Birdman in that thing, man. He don't know where he at, but he's somewhere. But the fight went on. You know, Ortiz, hand speed, much better, cleaner boxer. You know, he got that Cuban style, man. That you know, defensive, slick boxing. But, you know, Wilder just got that crazy power, man, and athleticism. So you get later in the round, in the fight, Wilder is rocked, completely rocked. Talking about rocked all over the place. He went everywhere but down. My man was a topsy-turvy in that thing for almost 2.5 minutes, damn near. He was a topsy-turvy, did not go down. You know, so that's his chin. You know, people always question his chin. I think that kind of answers some questions, but he cannot get hit like that against the wrong type of person. You know, if Joshua hit him like that, I don't know, man, because Joshua's a tall dude too. So, you know, if he hit Wilder the way Ortiz hit him, Ortiz only probably couldn't close the show because of the fact that, you know, Wilder, even though he was falling all over the place. Now, let's just take it to the video game realm. So, when you play UFC online and you rock somebody, you know, they can, like, walk back extremely fast, even though they're stunned. So, it was kind of sort of like that, where he was just stunned and falling all over the place, but he couldn't quite get to him and close the show, and in doing so, you know, because he was trying so hard to end the fight. they traded off again in the next round. And at this point, Ortiz, you know, he kind of fading a little bit. He got touched on the chin and he got staggered. You get to round 10, you know, stamina. Wilder still got, I'll say, man, he probably was at about 80%. Somewhere between, because he was slowing down a lot. Like, he was getting tired. But then, for whatever reason, it was like he got tired. But then when he got rocked to death, it's like his stamina just shot back up. He got that second wind, that adrenaline rush, and Ortiz just took an adrenaline dump. Then when he took that dump, yeah, he got hit, he got hurt, he got dropped, he got up again, and he got flattened. He got hit with a nasty uppercut that slumped him to the side. And Deontay Wilder, man, 10th round, bro, he got the dub. So, I mean, if Anthony Joshua gets past Joseph Parker, I mean, that's the fight to make right there. That's, you know, you got Dirrell, Big Baby Miller. You know, he's calling both of these guys out. You know, he wants to fight. You know, his only 2 losses came to Mirko Cro Cop in kickboxing. So a lot of people just think that he's just some short, fat dude, you know, boxing at heavyweight, calling people out. But, I mean, the man was an established kickboxer as well. You know, he was in glory and everything. He was like, I think it was like 21-2 or something like that. But, you know, he's undefeated in boxing right now, and he's calling everybody out. Now, the difference is he's a extremely big dude, but he's extremely active. You know, he's another dude. He relies on his chin, you know, because he been in both combat sports. So, you know, I guess, you know, one of them could maybe fight him, you know, as a step-up fight. But I don't know, man. So if it does go down, you know, it's like a 50-50, man. Like, you know, you get a speed and stamina advantage, obviously, to Wilder, because Joshua, you know, he's a big dude, big muscular dude. So, you know, he gasses a lot faster. Power, Joshua has one-touch power. Wilder has, I'm going to hit you in your shit. You might come back, but when I hit you again, you ain't coming back type power. So, hey, I don't know. I felt like it was a toss-up before, and I still think it's a toss-up right now. But it depends on how he looks against Joseph Parker. And in other news with boxing, you have Danny Jacobs and Charlos, you know, Billy Joe Saunders. You know, they all wolfing at the mouth, you know what I'm saying, selling these wolf tickets to each other. You know, that Billy Joe Saunders, you know, he's out there. He was at the Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook, you know, got the second round KO early yesterday. But, you know, Billy Joe, he was like, you know, he was talking about the Charlos, and then, you know, Jamal and Danny Jacobs, you know, they got a little war of words, and then Danny Jacobs, you know, was walking through the hallway, and he, you know, Jamal was like talking like, man, we could fight right now. I'm in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Like, then Danny pull up, and he like, oh man, you know, it's a wonderful time to, you know, it's convenient that he walked into him, and then he kind of, you know, G-checked him, kind of sunned him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, man. I mess with Jamal. I mess with them Charlo boys, but yeah, man, Danny Jacobs kind of sunned him a little bit, you know, and then they still was kind of yakking out there, you know, they camp was about to get into it and all, but, you know, so probably in the future, man, that's probably going to be, you know, a big match going forward. You got Jared Hurd against Lara. It's a lot of boxing on the table right now, man. Terrence Crawford, you know, moving up, trying to get a belt. Errol Spence still being ducked by everybody. So apparently Sean Porter getting the crack at Keith Thurman. So it's a lot going on. So I would say if I'm Danny Garcia, man, you might as well just fight Errol Spence. You know, try to get you a belt back. Can he beat Spence? I don't think so. But You know, might as well try, bro. It doesn't hurt to try. You know, I mean, Frankie Edgar, he got KO'd last night by my boy T City. You know, hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't think T City was gonna knock him flat with the hands, but I really thought he was gonna hurt him and then like choke Frankie unconscious. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but he hurt him with the hands. And of course, Chris Cyborg does Chris Cyborg things. That's what happened when you train boxing with Clarissa Shields and you do your Muay Thai in Thailand. You know, she went in there with Joanna Bars. It's one of them. You know, tall ass kickboxer. She went in there. She got worked out, but you know, she kind of held her own. To say she only had like what, 1 or 2 professional kickboxing matches prior to that. But I'm out, man. I hope you enjoying this lovely, ugly, heavyweight masterpiece gameplay that's going on in the background. But until then, I will see you later, fight fans. I am out. Peace. One love.